Hey, brothers and sisters, what's up? This is the Reluctant Abi back again. Um, and I'm here to talk to you, kind of digging into sports, but sports is just not sports to me, right? It's kind of a distraction, more so how they're using this medium to distract us from major issues that are going on. They're making stories, this, that, and the other. All right. Sports is becoming like the WWE, all right, whereas entertainment sports. The hardest thing to do that with is basketball and baseball, even because everything is so skilled. Everything is so skilled. It is manipulated, but it is less as manipulated as football because really, like hitting a baseball with a bat, that's difficult. Um, Try shooting 3 pointers from anywhere on the court like Steph Curry do. All right, that's difficult. Or anywhere beyond this 3 point line, that's difficult, right? It requires a skill that if you take a non-skilled person and try to make them a star that does that, you just can't do it because they can't make the basket to make whatever look good, right? So basketball has more validity than almost any other sport. So then how do you manipulate the sport itself? Well, you get the coaches, the general managers and all of this stuff to control the players themselves, move players around, build super teams, this, that, and the other. All right. And this is where we come to a problem. All right. The problem that made me become disgusted at the fans of the San Antonio Spurs. All right. At San Antonio, period. All right. At Popovich, at the whole organization. You kind of see the organization for what it is. Now, I'm going to get into why the organization worked so well before Kawhi Leonard. All right. But first, yeah, it worked so well before Kawhi Leonard. All right. But let's get into the wickedness of this organization for real. All right, let me greet everybody. Horvort Hadu Guda Ola Oitebe, Fasas Los, Bonjour mes amis, Ketabawani Konnichiwa, Nia Nia Ma, Sani Bonani, Jampo Baragani, Assalamu alaikum, and Shalom. Okay, let me remind everyone to get those thumbs up, like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Um, my donation link will be in the description box. If you want to know what this channel actually does and why we ask, just type in Reluctant Abi, Favela, Reluctant Abi, Brazil. The same things that we're doing here in Brazil. I'm here now in Brazil. I also do in the United States. That is the only reason why I have not moved here permanently. Because I realize that a person that have the mindset and the heart to do what I do is needed for children in both places. Oh, and why am I in Brazil? Because I like helping those that look like me, even despite the black female. All right, so let's get moving. All right, so one of the things that's happening is some people are being honest, but they're not going all the way. And I'll explain that in a minute. But I want you to listen to Stephen A. and Max Hellerman on First Take. Their discussion of what's going on.
How do you think the Spurs look with Kawhi in the finals?
I think they look very bad today. And it's not because Kawhi sent Toronto Raptors to the finals. It's not because, he would have done that for the Spurs, because we don't know, even if he were in San Antonio. We don't know if the Spurs, we know the Spurs would have went deep into the playoffs, but we don't know if they would have made it to the conference finals or if they would have gotten past the Warriors for the NBA finals. We don't know that, but he clearly would have been gave them a better chance. But when you have a guy who is universally recognized as one of the top 5 players in basketball at the time, whose defense is surreal, whose offense had matured and had grown, and clearly it had the kind of impact that we allude to in terms of what he was doing for them before he went down in Game 1 of that conference finals when Jaja Pachulia undercut him. And you have his uncle saying the things that he said. I mean, let me just read it again. I think it just became a lack of trust. They didn't believe Kawhi couldn't play. And that caused a lack of trust in us, and then us not believing in them. Anytime a player says he's not capable of playing, you should believe him. Why would Kawhi just stop playing all of a sudden? He's a competitor. And then it says sometimes you get these team doctors telling you what you can and cannot do. And Kawhi was just in too much pain to get out there. When you hear something like that, and you see an organization, first class, gold standard, Greg Popovich, we all know the phenomenal coach, phenomenal human being. We know R.C. Buford, highly, highly respected executive in the NBA. When Adrian Wojnarowski was one of the people that broke this story in March of 2018, when they had that players-only meeting with players imploring him to play, obviously they were questioning the severity of his injury. Where did they get that from? And where was Greg Popovich and R.C. Buford to stop it? I don't know the answer to those questions. I'm simply saying that by mere virtue of the fact that we have to ask that question, that Kawhi Leonard clearly was asking that question. His family was clearly asking that question, Max. That is not a good look for an organization as world class as the San Antonio Spurs to be in. That would be something you would expect from an organization that's devoid of winning, that's devoid of any kind of culture, tradition, or whatever. You don't expect that from the San Antonio Spurs. And the fact that that happened on the watch of Popovich, on the watch of R.C. Buford, the owner Peter Holt, this is a first-class organization. For that stuff to be said right now, with Uncle Dennis coming out and publicly stating that to Yahoo Sports the way that he did, that is not a good look for the San Antonio Spurs. There's no way around it.
It sure isn't.
Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs almost always look great on and off the court. Whether coach is commenting on social issues, whether it's an issue of how that team and how that franchise is run, to their success on the court, not giving in to the strategy that I sometimes recommend that you hate, Stephen A., tanking for multiple years, the process for picks, but always competing, every year competing their hearts out, putting together the best product they can and going for it every year is amazing, it's laudable, it's commendable, and they deserve it when they show it, which is almost all the time. No one's perfect. And here the San Antonio Spurs were imperfect. They made a miscalculation. Look, Kawhi Leonard was hurt, and I want to read for you. And by the way, think about the way Toronto has managed it. There was load management. That's one of the reasons, even though he's hurt right now, he's able to play with as much energy
so he's
as he
playing
can
hurt
muster on both ends of the court, and they're in the finals, right? They managed the load for him. Okay. This from Michael Singer, USA Today, March 23rd, 2018, right?
Yeah, days after that meeting.
After both Danny Green and Rudy Gay refuted the report that the meeting, the team meeting that was reported to San Antonio Spurs, after they refuted the report, which revolved around getting answers from Leonard about his injury, was contentious, it's hard to overlook the tone of Tony Parker's comments in regard to his own rehab. I want to stop right there. Who got traded to
How do you think the Spurs look with Kawhi in the finals?
Danny Green,
they look very bad
so
today.
Danny Green sticks up for Kawhi Leonard.
And it's not because Kawhi took sent Toronto Raptors to the finals. It's not because, he would have done that for the Spurs, because we don't know. Even if he were in San Antonio, we don't know if the Spurs, we know that the Spurs would have went deep into the playoffs, but we don't know if they would have made it to the conference finals or if they would have gotten past the Warriors for the NBA finals. We don't know that.
And there you go. And this is why I stopped liking the team. I was liking the team when it had the floor general, when it had David Robinson. I liked George Gervin, the Iceman, the finger roll. All right. I like when they first got Tim Duncan. I always looked at this organization as, and I will argue with people, them versus the show off. I was like, man, these people never got into trouble, not real trouble, right? And then you look at the caliber of people that they were bringing onto the team. David Robinson, he was military, so he had no problem following the orders of people blindly. Military, right? And so long as you were not that disrespectful, and quite frankly, with him, you're not just going to be disrespectful with the officer of the Navy that's playing on your team, just the same way that they weren't disrespectful of Roger Staubach of the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, there's just some things that men do that no matter, how you think you are, you just look at who they are that's coming to play for you, and you be like, yeah, we just won't disrespect that guy. Unfortunately, Kawhi is coming into the league, and after the loss of a father, was traded to San Antonio, and so you have this, right? With the Tony Parker thing, I wrote with, you'll see these links in the description box. When he said this about the injuries that people get is not the same, because Tony Parker don't have his same, Kawhi Leonard's same genetic makeup, muscle structure, and all the rest of that. All right, he don't have his pain. Their pain tolerance isn't going to be the same. Oh, and wait a minute. Their concern for self and getting back to be the best that they are may not be the same. All right. With me, if I was an elite basketball player, I would never sacrifice my health for a game. All right. Now, I might play a little hurt, but I wouldn't do anything that I think would just make me a detriment, or that may ruin me the rest of my life for a game. I don't care how much they're paying me. If you give me a couple $1 million and I'm crippled, I can't enjoy it the same way I could deal with a couple $100,000 healthy. All right. I put down his quote. All right. And you heard it there. All right. But what they didn't get to was this. And you'll see the guy that wrote this article here. At the end of his time, right? At the end of his time, or of the rehab, Tony Parker was sorry. And you start thinking, wait a minute, maybe he should have stayed off the court a little longer, because he was no good. First two games, he didn't look like he belonged on the court. He played better the third and fourth games, although he, slow and lethargic, doesn't look like an NBA player from an athletic standpoint. Perhaps too, he wasn't ready. It says isn't. But, I mean, it happened in the past, so. All right? All right, and what was missing in the conversation to these nasty fans from San Antonio was the fact that Leonard did try to play. He played 9 games, and he was very, very hurt, right? Isaiah Thomas played despite hip issues. All right. It cost him. His decision to try to do right by the Celtics, because the Celtics, the San Antonio Spurs, these corporations that where you people root for the jerseys, they don't care about the people wearing the jersey. All right. They con them people into sacrificing their very health for the name of the corporation, for the colors that they wear on their back. Right? And at the end of the day, those guys end up being the ones that lose. Right? Isaiah Thomas, while his whole body felt wrong, right? He played while his body felt wrong. He decided to do right by the Celtics and play while his body felt wrong, and it cost him tens of millions of dollars. It cost him, not the Celtics, tens of millions of dollars. All right. So they got rid of him, Kawhi, and the guy that stuck up for him like a real teammate and said, your health is more important. Right? Only one person. Oh, even though he's not having a good season, good end of the season, he's still in the finals along with Kawhi. All right? He's still in the finals along with Kawhi. Hopefully he'll step up his game. And I think they try to step up their game all the time. It's just that some of the time you have bad games, some of the times you have good ones. All right? But hopefully he has some good games. Right? But guess what? Kawhi and the guy that stuck up for the guy who wanted to take care of his body right went to a team that managed him, that believed that he was hurt, rested him up, and now both of them are in the finals against Golden State. All right. And this is the player only meeting, right? I want to say this. The writer, Brandon Seymour Starkey, he writes, we should not be surprised then that he is choosing not to travel with them. His teammates have already demonstrated that they would be willing to prod him with questioning during a players-only meeting as to why he's still sidelined, an ordeal he would almost certainly take umbrage to. Why would he want to travel with the squad as it gets smoked by a better team, knowing full well that someone on the roster will at least mutter under their breath their grievances and perhaps say it out loud? One should be understanding, therefore, why would he stay away? Understand, therefore, of why he would stay away and concentrate on rehab. So the article that you're seeing written was basically written by Brandon Seymour Starkey. It'll be in the description box. All right. Again, I tell you, you got many of these fans that are racist that think you are their slave for their enjoyment, like a gladiator in Roman times, right? And we as Afro men need to step up for men who say, no, I am not a slave. I might be an employee, but I'm not your slave. All right. And at the end of the day, guess what? Guess what Kawhi Leonard has?
He's right there.
Yeah, that's right. He got the last laugh on that mess. And with the script flip, San Antonio hit that championship playoff wall kind of early this season, didn't they? Yeah, some of the times you need to stop treating your top players like they're nothing but a piece of meat to you. But then again, these are corporations that don't care about the men, especially the black men. Why do you think they want to put a bunch of women coaches up there? Right? They have no business coaching the NBA. But they don't care about destroying the image of Afro men. Remember, this sport is dominated by Afro men. Oh, let me just give you another tidbit. The reason why they were able to pull this mess on all the rest of the people they drafted, because most of their team are from overseas, and they'll do anything to play in the United States. Think about that for a second. With that said, I'm out.